Budget 2020-21 no provision for whitening black money. Transparency International Bangladesh, TIB, on Tuesday urged the government not to keep any provision of whitening of black money in the forthcoming national budget in the name of creating employment by attracting investment and boosting revenue generation.
The Bangladesh chapter of the Berlin-based organization termed such scope in the budget discriminatory and unconstitutional and graft-supportive one, reports UNB.
The second budget session, 8th session, of the 11th Parliament will begin at 5 p.m. on Wednesday amid the COVID-19 pandemic in the country.
Finance Minister Mustafa Kemal will place a TK 5.57 trillion proposed national budget for the 2020-21 fiscal year in the House, giving an outline of recovering the economy from the negative impacts of COVID-19 pandemic in his budget speech.
The finance minister will also narrate various steps so far the government has already taken to face the adverse impact of the COVID-19 and save people's lives and livelihoods.
Citing media reports, TIB condemned the government move to expand scope of whitening undisclosed money through buying flats, land as well as investing those in development projects in the stock market, said a press release.
The forthcoming budget is not only giving the opportunity to whiten black money on a large scale, but also it's going to remove the provision of Anti-Corruption Commission to question the source. It cannot be desired, said TIB Executive Director Dr. Iftek Arazaman.
He noted that the country's economy never benefited from this facility in the past years, neither it helped to collect significant revenue. Rather, it questioned the government's anti-corruption stance.
The TIB executive director urged the government to refrain from taking such a move and termed it discriminatory towards the honest citizens.
TIB demanded swift initiative to investigate huge foreign investments by multiple influential individuals and groups. I urge the government to take appropriate and effective accountability measures by exploring their sources of money instead of indulging them, Dr. Iftek Arazaman said.
He highlighted the tragic exposure of the real condition on the country's health sector due to the COVID-19 situation. Such a fragile situation in the health sector was not created in one day.
Years after years, inadequate funding in the health sector, lack of coherence in spending, and rampant corruption in the sector have led to such catastrophes, he said.
TIB put forward a set of recommendations for the forthcoming national budget, which includes adequate allocations to the health sector, increasing employment, and social security for people who have recently fallen below the poverty line due to the pandemic. They also demanded an effective anti-corruption roadmap by ensuring transparency and accountability in all types of procurement, distribution and expenditure in these sectors.
Government set to target $2,326 per capita income.
The government is going to raise the country's per capita income target by $153 to $2,326 in the next fiscal, despite the economic impact of the coronavirus pandemic, officials said on Saturday.
The per capita gross national income, or GNI, target will be documented in the upcoming national budget, which is expected to be placed before Parliament on June 11th.
The per capita gross national income, or GNI, target will be documented in the upcoming national budget, which is expected to be placed before Parliament on June 11th. For fiscal year 2020, the authorities expect the per head earnings of the population to reach $2,173, up by $264.
According to the Bangladesh Bureau of Statistics, BBS, the per capita GNI was recorded at $1,909 in the FY 2019. The per capita income growth in the next fiscal may not be achieved at an impressive rate that the country has seen over the last few years. But per head earnings will rise, as our both gross domestic product and the gross national income will be rising in the coming year too, said a finance ministry official.
He said after bouncing back from the COVID shocks, the GDP growth could return to its impressive trend in FY 2021 as the government was expecting 8.2% expansion in the next fiscal.
In the outgoing fiscal, the GDP may grow at a slower pace than that of more than a decade, but the next financial year would offset it, the official predicted.
Meanwhile, with the help from other ministries and agencies concerned, the Ministry of Finance has already prepared the medium-term macroeconomic framework for the next 3 years. Bangladesh has been one of top 5 fastest growing economies in the world with its stunning GDP growth rate of more than 7.0% over the last few years. Breaking the 5-year, 6.0% growth trap, the economy chalked out the 7.0% growth band in FY 2016.
Then it took only 2 years to surpass the 7.0% rate in FY 2019 when the economy expanded at a rapid clip of 8.15%. The outgoing fiscal year's target was to eke out 8.2% GDP growth, but the coronavirus pandemic has made reaching that goal highly unlikely.
Nevertheless, the finance officials appeared to be bullish, saying the GDP growth would not be lower than the 6.0% rate in FY 2020. In the proposed Perspective Plan 2041, the government is expected to set a target to attain the developed country status, graduating from a lower middle-income country rank.
An additional secretary at the Finance Ministry told the FA that Bangladesh was on a right track to reach the goal as enshrined in the 20-year vision plan. Member of the General Economics Division Professor Shamsul Alam said except the coronavirus impact, Bangladesh's economy had been doing well over the last 1 decade.
The country would certainly graduate to a developing nation status by 2024 and would also become a developed nation by 2041 as its development plans and strategies are moving towards the right path, he noted. We hope our GDP as well as the per capita income would expand in the next FY 2021, overcoming the current fiscal's coronavirus shocks, Professor Alam added.
Please do subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon to see videos at first.